Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. So today I want to show you my current project character build diary thingish. So I leveled this one up yesterday because I wanted to play the new Tectonic Slam, right? Tectonic Slam got a rework in 3.5. And I really like the visual style of this character, and as you know me, I love those melee tanky builds with fire. I mean, I love fire, you know. So that's why I thought like, okay, let's try this one out. We got a rework, so let's see how well it will do. So at the moment, I am level 77 as a Juggernaut because as a Tectonic Slam, you know, you do charged slams that do 60% more damage, right? But you need endurance charges to even get those charged slams. And talking about endurance charges, it's basically the best way to go Juggernaut because you will get a lot of endurance charges, right? You also benefit from the endurance charges for tankiness and all that kind of stuff. So I thought like Juggernaut is the way to go for this kind of project. So what do I want to play? What is the current status, right? So I want to do Uber Elder. I want to do Mastermind. I want to delve, you know, dig deep into the delve. Yeah, something like that. I just want to do all content with it, right? So what I plan to do is a dual wielding style of Tectonic Slam. Probably majority self-crafted gear because I was super lucky a couple of days ago, and I know some people will say like, hey, wait a second, that's a weapon that's so expensive I cannot afford that. Yeah, I'm sorry. So this is the weapon that I crafted on stream like yesterday, 2 days ago. It has freaking tier 1 physical damage and increased damage. So here's the clip. Life gained on hit. Holy 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 lol. Okay, so you saw how lucky that was. So I really want to do something with this weapon. I'm not too sure, that's why I'll leave it blue. You know, usually would just throw a regal on it and hope for some good results. But since we are bestiary, or at least we have bestiary, right? I want to show you something real quick before we get into the build guide-ish thing. There is a mod where you can actually, where is it? Create an imprint of a magic item. What that means, you can basically, it's like an eternal orb for leaks or for the cheap ones, right?
Thank you for following.
Holy shit, why do I gotta follow? I'm not even streaming. Holy shit. Okay, anyways. So this leaves up quite some options that you can basically take this weapon, then imprint it. Or is it here? You take this weapon, you imprint it, you wriggle it. If it's bad, you revert it, wriggle it again, and so on, right? But there is another thing that you can do, then that is splitting an item. I haven't really figured out yet how it works. It's basically you have I think a rare item, and you will split the rare item into 2 weapons, and the affixes like this prefix and suffix will get split. So you have a chance basically if you have a rare item that the first magic weapon will have the bad spot, and the second will actually be a duplicate of this one because the split said, okay, fist damage and attack speed on this side, flat fist on the left side, for example, right? So this is the way where you actually can duplicate these kind of items. But this is just some theory, like I really need to make sure that I don't fail it, because getting this one is like a chance 1 in, I think, 33,000, 1 in 40,000, something like that. So super, super rare, right? Anyway, so that's why I want to build around the dual wielding type of Tectonic Slam to get use out of my, fancy swords that I probably will craft, right? So, as a map showcase for the current part, we are level 77 at the moment. So that means, I don't know, probably any low high tier map. What is good? Burial Chambers, let's get a doctor card. Holy shit, yes. Let's just, I don't know, like chisel them up. Holy shit, wait a second. Chisels, what is this? Minus player maximum resistance, monsters, something easier please. I have a tabula rasa, I don't want to get like one shot at. Rogues, desecrate, okay, that should be fine. So, Before we go over the gear, what gear choices I made so far, and it's pretty cheap. I have like max 5 chaos each slot, right? So all you're gonna do is we're just gonna... where's my blood rage? Why don't I have blood rage? Holy shit, I'm so bad. Anyway, so you wanna get blood rage actually. I kinda missed that one for some... whatever reason. And yeah, Tectonic Slam is a pretty cool spell. You're just gonna smash the earth, right? And with the Juggernaut Ascendancy, plus for example, we have Endurance Charge or Melee Stun. So we actually get Endurance Charges for hitting enemies, right? So we make sure that we're gonna get these Endurance Charges going for this enlarged area of effect that we have, and the more damage multiplier it comes through, right? So yeah. Actually, from the leveling point, so we talk about that one real quick, because I know I will get this question quite often. Sorry about my voice, I just woke up, holy shit. I leveled with Sunder from level 12 until level 28, I think, where you can actually use Tectonic Slam. And since then I'm using Tectonic Slam on a Tabula Rasa, obviously, to get all my links in. If you don't have a Tabula Rasa, any 5 link or so will do just fine. Just make sure that you have some life and resistance, the things you actually need, right? To survive. And yeah, now I'm like, yesterday I finished the leveling, at least the questing. Now today is actually the first day I will try to map, or at least starting to gear the character. But I thought it would be a nice idea that you see what are my plans, what I actually want to do with this character, what is the current gear state, yeah. So if you want to make this character as well, then feel free to do so. It's been a lot of fun, just the leveling part, and I'm looking so forward to this, because finally a freaking fire melee build. Yeah, this is cool. I mean, yeah, I see that there are Syndicate members, probably I don't really want to face them, I don't know. I mean, I have 4.5k lives, so not the worst. But still, it's level 77, we are on a high tier, so you gotta respect those Syndicate members. So, as a damage push-up, we have basically an Ancestral War Chief, which gives us more melee damage. Our Flasks and so on for more melee damage, and a Series Promise and so on for some leech. Pretty usual melee stuff, basically. Yeah, but we're gonna work on the single target a little bit more. Let's kill this one real quick. Real quick, hahaha. With that single target, holy shit. Stop running! Holy shit, nice. Okay, so no Doctor card, that's actually bad, but whatever. So, let's talk about real quick about my current gear choices. And as I said, it's really cheap, right? I still wear my Gold Dream leather cap from the leveling because it gives you all resistance, right? And I'm barely capped on all resistance, so replacing this will actually, yeah, freak up my all resistance. So I was like, yeah, let's keep this one going. I have my Leap Slam, 45 Blood Magic, and faster attack support for the faster Leap Slam. Then I have a Tabula Rasa, obviously. As I said before, if you have a 5 link with life resistance or something, that would actually be better, but hey, that's a free 6 link. So Tectonic Slam goes with melee fist damage, elemental damage with attacks, endurance charge or melee stun, multi-strike, and the combustion support. So, on the next thing, Chief's Torment, pretty cool item, especially for the budget. I mean, it's like a couple chaos, I think. Yeah, 5 chaos, 6 chaos, 7 chaos, 8 chaos, yeah, a couple chaos. But it offers like everything you want to have. You have like an insane amount of life gain on hit, you have mana gain on hit, you have all resistance, the quantity, forget that. I mean, it's good, but it's not the mandatory thing why we bought this item. But it will sustain our mana and health regeneration quite well in terms of leveling and the early mapping. The Carnage Heart is an item that you actually want to use on a Slayer kind of guy, because for the Overleech, because you have increased damage while leeching and so on, right? But since we don't have the Overleech, we actually stop leeching as soon as we are capped on life. So the majority thing why I took this one now, I think it's like a Chaos or so. Yeah, it starts with 1 Chaos, pretty easy. Is the all attributes. So every kind of melee build is like super starved on intelligence, right? And if I unequip this, you see that I cannot really wear the Consecrated Effect support, no combustion support, and yeah, I can't really wear my items. So I was like, either take an Onyx Amulet, the, what's it called? The one that gives you like 100 all resistance, like all stats, right? As Trementis, I think. So I was like, yeah, let's take this one. This is fair enough. We get some more all resistance, some more leech, and so on. So that's pretty fine for me. In terms of weapons, I choose to go with the Eraser of the Seventh Sun. That's a Phoenix drop. They go for like 5, 6 chaos, 4 chaos, 2 chaos. They're not really hard. Gives a lot of physical damage. We have physical damage converted to fire damage, which is also pretty nice because our Tectonic Slam has already, as the gem itself, 60% of physical damage converted to fire damage. So if we dual wield these kind of guys, we actually have 110%. So basically, we don't deal physical damage anymore, so we have pure fire damage, right? And this is something you really want to have, or at least you want to achieve on this one, because you don't have the downside of Avatar of Fire, right? Where actually your physical damage gets scaled down as well, I think. Where is it? Yeah, physical, cold, lighting, whatever, converted to fire damage. So we get the full portion of physical damage converted to fire damage. So that's pretty nice damage. In our main hand, we have like Anger, Herald of Ash, and Enlighten support. Enlighten, not really too necessary. We just drop a little bit of mana. This one is level 3. So maybe I'll push it to level 4. We're gonna see what shenanigans I'm trying to do with this kind of stuff. But it's like not really necessary because, as you see, we can still cast like 2, 3, 4 times to hit an enemy to get our mana back from the Chief's Torment. In the offhand, as a Reward Chief with Melee Fizz and Concentrated Effective support, so our Totem does more damage. Can also go with Val, War Chief Totem. This was what I planned to do, basically.
Thank you for following.
Holy shit, thank you very much. I'm not even streaming, holy shit. So, for the gloves, these are 1-slotted Tomb Fists. They are like, I think I bought them yesterday for 2 chaos. Okay, they get 7 chaos now, 8 chaos. I really bought them for 2 chaos yesterday, so maybe later on, like on the evening, prices are cheaper than in the morning, probably. So we have castable damage taking, Immortal Call, and increased duration. That's a low-level castable damage taking. Since we're actually using Blood Rage, that I haven't really gotten in there. I don't even know why. Holy moly. Yeah, then get castable damage taking, Immortal Call, and skip increased duration for Blood Rage. Holy shit. Because this will leave one thing open. If you have Blood Rage, right, you get physical damage over time. If you have the upgraded Soul of Arakali, this is the first thing I'm going to do today when I start streaming and mapping. Then I'm going to get the Queen of the Great Tangle to get this increased recovery rate of life and energy shield if you've stopped taking damage over time recently. So Blood Rage gives you physical damage over time, but Immortal Call will make you immune to physical damage for a short period of time. So basically, every time your Immortal Call procs, you will activate your increased life recovery rate, which is quite a ton. So we are not running Val Pact, so we have actually life regeneration. That's also pretty nice if we are stacking endurance charges, so 0.2% of maximum life regenerated per endurance charge is pretty sweet here. So we have a lot of life and regeneration and also the leech, right? So this comes in very, very handy. For the second one, what do I have here? Soul of Gridcool at the moment for the physical damage reduction. Not too mandatory at the moment. So if we keep on going for the Abyss Jewel, you want to have, like, if you're using 1-slotted Tomb Fist, you want to choose between either Intimidate or Maim. And I think Intimidate is more, valuable more than the Maim. So that's why I choose to go with the Murderous Eye Jewel to activate this one. This is basically fire damage, physical damage, onslaught. I don't even have life. I tried to slam, I found this one, no, wait a second. I crafted this one myself. Because this is what I usually do when I farm high tiers. I'm just going to... Wait a second, where's my crafting tab, actually? Crafting. So what I do is I just pick up all those 83, 82, and when I have a bunch of those, you know, I just buy a bunch of alterations and, yeah, craft those myself. So this is one of the outcomes that was actually pretty good. Fire damage, physical damage to sword, exactly what we want. Onslaught is also nice to have. And I slammed that yesterday for accuracy. Holy shit, if that would have get life... That would be great. But you want to have life and then damage, right? Life is something you really want to have in like almost every build, right? Before you go for this insane fire damage, multiplier, onslaught, I don't know, facing, whatever you get. Okay, this is a self-crafted belt and it's not cheap, okay? Just to make that sure. But I had this one on my stash, so I was like, yeah, why shouldn't I use it, basically, right? So life, all resistance... Yeah, and crafted elemental damage with attack skills, pretty solid. So here is one of the jewels that you actually want to get. You have life, Fire damage, physical damage. As easy as that. For the boots, I choose to go with the KM's Roots. They just offer it a shitload of life. That's actually pretty sweet, 1 chaos. And although I'm level 77 at the moment, I still have 4,500 life, so that's actually pretty fine. For our flask choices, we have an instant life flask with freeze immunity. Here a diamond flask with bleed immunity. So these are the 2 mandatory things, right? Bleed immunity, freeze immunity. If you can get a third crafted or at least like magic flask, then I would probably go with curse immunity. And yeah, so for the other flasks, we have the Wise Oak for another damage overlay and also a layer of defense. Just check that your fire resistance is higher than the other 2, so you actually benefit from the fire penetration to do more damage, right? And obviously, if you're able to, yeah, get all the resistance, the unkept ones, that's the one in the brackets, get all to the same value, so you get all 3 damage penetrations and all 3 defensive layers, right? Then we have Alliance Roar, which is actually pretty insane for any kind of melee character because 25% more physical damage. That's a lot of damage, right? It's just like a little bit bad with the knockback because this is like on the other melee builds that I played, like Blade Flurry and so on or whatever, Cyclone. It's just a little bit stupid if you actually have knockback and use Cyclone into a group, right? And you push them away. So yeah, you gotta live with that, but you get 25% more physical damage, which is pretty insane. Then we have an Etheri's Promise. We do both physical damage and elemental damage. At least now in this case, we just do fire damage, but it's elemental damage, it's extra chaos damage, and yeah, therefore we get more damage, and also the leech occurring from the produced chaos damage, more or less. And as I said, a Diamond Life Flask because we're a crit build. So for the skill tree real quick, and what are my decisions here? So we are starting as a Marauder. While leveling, I used those here. I get up here, taking dual wield nodes. I get Barbarism Life, 1 max fire resistance. Take those endurance charges because we're an endurance charge based build. Jewel slot, Juggernaut life, armor, recovery rate. Here, the Blade Master. Then get the next endurance charge with life. The melee crit cluster, which is actually pretty stupid. That's actually so good, but you know, all this crit multi stuff is actually somewhere on the right side, ranger side, the assassin side. So the melee crit side has only this, but this cluster is so good. I mean, holy shit. Then I took here some more resistance, here some more intelligence, more or less. That's the same reason why I have the Carnage Heart, because we are intelligence starved like any other melee build. Then we go down here, dual wielding nodes, another endurance charge, life, sockets, vitality void for some more leech, mana leech, and yeah, some crit, blah blah blah. So the next things, if we are keeping on going on this one, I probably would go down here, probably take Primal Force for the elemental damage, then go up here, take the Fatal Blade for more damage. But first, I would probably take this one here, like Herbalism for more life, right? The crit multiplier, and here the jewel slot is actually a pretty generic tree, like any other Blade Flurry, I don't know, Reef, Cyclone, that kind of crit guys. They always go for left side and then right side. Pretty generic tree, nothing too special. I choose to go with the full Scion cluster here because I think my damage is fine for now. It's just about survivability that I'm building up right now, so yeah. This is going to change a little bit, as I said, but yeah. So, for jewels, I bought them for 20 chaos each. They have just physical damage with life, crit multi, melee crit multi, and physical damage with swords, right? Swords multiply life. This is what you want to get. You want to have life, obviously, and then you're going to start with, for example, melee multiplier, or multiplier with swords, or that kind of stuff, right? Attack speed is something you really want to have, but attack speed are way more expensive. So I was like having yesterday on the PoE trade, I had like life checked, and then I was like having all sorts of multiplier, all sorts of physical damage, all sorts of attack speed, whether it's if swords, if it's dual wielding, one-handed melee weapons, something like that, right? And all those attack speed, life, multiplier jewels, they start on the 1 and 2x, right? That's why I skipped the attack speed going for pure physical damage, because they were 20 chaos, so I was like, yeah, let's buy a bunch of those and we should be fine for the early stages, right? So next thing, what is important is the Watcher's Eye Jewel. Because usually what you want to do, if you're a physical build without Avatar Fire, you actually want to get Herald of Ash, because this will give you physical as extra fire damage. And then you want to have Hatred, because Hatred will give you physical as extra cold damage. And that's like when a level 20 Hatred or something, it's like 37, 38% or something. So you would actually take this one over the Anger. So why do we still have Anger? Because of a Watcher's Eye jewel that says gain percentage of physical damage as extra fire damage while affected by Anger. Obviously that is not 40% as we have it on the Hatred. I got this one for 70 chaos yesterday. I don't know what the price is at the moment. Let's check this real quick. We have just the physical damage. The other one is like useless. So they are 0.8x at the moment. Yeah, that's a little bit more. So I think it's the same with the Tomb Fist. So the later the day, the cheaper you get the items. Because I got this for 2 chaos, 1 chaos. Just I had on my stash for leveling, 1 chaos. I got these for 5 chaos each. And they are now 4 chaos. So they were a little bit cheaper. But I think if you buy the items in the evening, there is more people online, right? So the market is more full, so you get the items cheaper. So with this, you have physical as extra fire. That's lower than the Hatred one, but you still have all the benefits from an Anger Aura. That means you get a shitload of physical flat damage for your attacks, right? So that's pretty good, cool. So skill tree wise, I'm going to post these, the current state of the art in the comment section of this video. I will now start to mapping level his character up. And gonna make some adjustments to the build, invest more, obviously, and yeah, we're gonna see how far I have to push to actually kill Uber Elder and stuff like that. So what would be the next options that I would take or consider, right? So as I said, I will keep those weapons until, yeah, I can maybe do something with the defaults that I have here to see if I just can multi-mod them or something. For the rings, I want to have 2 steel rings with intelligence and resistances. Life could be either an astral plate, for example, if you can afford that, and if not, then a law weave would be actually pretty good. You have physical damage, you have you have life, you have crit chance, elemental damage, you have 80% max resistance, which is actually pretty good. So yeah, this is probably one choice here. I think a self-crafted amulet, something with maybe a shaped amulet with those Fizz extra fire, Fizz extra, I don't know, or elemental damage is chaos or something like that. We're gonna see about that. For the boots, either I stay with KM's roots or I go for bubonic trails for more of these jewels, because there's life and a lot of damage, right? For the helm, maybe, I don't know, like, Devotos would not make too much sense because we're actually leap slamming all the time. So maybe a Staconias will help, or depending on the survivability, maybe an Abyssos or something. I need to check the enchants for Tectonic Slam. I think there is one that says 20% higher chance to actually make this charged slam. So this would actually be better than anything else, but I need to check what bases I can get with this enchant. So I think if you take an Abyssos with this enchant, they should go for like 10x plus or something. So maybe I can make here some cuts, get a Starconius or something like that. That would actually work out pretty well. Maybe 2 slotted Tomb Fists, but they're expensive. Belt, I don't think that I will change at all. Yeah, for the weapons, as I said, something like that. But yeah, base levels is important. I just want to give you a brief information of what I'm playing and what I plan to do, so that kind of stuff, right? So you can follow this one up, and in like 2 or 4 days, I'll bring an update with higher level, hopefully, if I'm not dying too often. So we can actually see how this build performs in the end game against Uber Elder and, yeah, whatever, Mastermind. Syndicates in general, because syndicates I think you can count as freaking bosses, right? Because syndicate members in maps are usually harder than the bosses itself. And yeah, we're gonna see how this is going to work out. I'm going to start to stream now and yeah, get this guy a little bit further. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see ya on the next video.